So let's continue our discussion. This is of 3rd July 2025. So Critical Minerals Initiative launched by Quad. So what is Quad? It is a quadrilateral security dialogue consisting of the four countries, namely United States, Japan, India, Australia, and all are democracies. Okay, it's a continuation from the 2008 Malabar exercise that India had with United States. Now, slowly Japan was also included, and Australia also came on board after 2020. All right. So it has widened its scope, not only being an anti-China initiative, but also something related to critical minerals. So, in this context, sir, what are critical minerals such as uh, gallium, germanium, all right, and the nickel? These are very essential for the next generation technologies, semiconductor technologies, all right, electronic wastes, all right. Now, in this context, you need to remember that China has complete monopoly both in terms of resources and also the supply chain. All right. At the production level, if you see, 68% of world's cobalt essential for electronics, and 65% of nickel, 60% of lithium. All right. It is manufacturing happens in China, while some of the essential minerals are present in some restricted group of countries. And China has been criticized for weaponizing these critical minerals, all right, for the sake of diplomacy, for the sake of maintaining economic strength, and is it serving its national interest? Now, these are critical minerals which are naturally occurring elements, including lithium, cobalt, all right, and these are very essential for our next generation industries, defense, and non-detectable aircraft body parts, and for the clean energy, that is for battery storage, solar modules, etc. It is a wider question. If in science and tech it comes, you need to answer generally all the above. All right, this is a hint. Okay, now now, in this context, sir, are there any domestic policies for India? Yes, the Mines and Mineral Development Act. Okay, Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957 has been suitably amended to give license even to accept non-atomic minerals. Sorry, I mean to say accept atomic minerals. All right, like uranium, etc. Other minerals which are of critical in nature, even private enterprises can also undertake exploration. And again, national mineral policy, car bill, these are a bit old current affairs, but again, a most recent one is mineral security partnership. All right, started by USA, having nearly 14 countries, including India. All right, India joined very recently in 2023. All right, and you can say mineral security partnership. It is an addendum within the Quad. All right, important, very very important, both for prelims as well as मेंस. अगर इतना लिख सकते हैं तो मेंस में बहुत काफी है, मेंस में. All right, then comes something very important, financial fraud risk indicator. Nowadays we have a very strong digital stack, or India stack, digital public infrastructure, where we are connecting with Aadhaar, with UPI, bank accounts. All right, there are likely to be frauds that are happening. Hence, digital fraud which are on rise. All right, it's a very serious threat. It can cause decline in the economic output. All right, because if more number of cyber crimes happens. All right, in that context, the Reserve Bank of India has directed all the scheduled commercial banks and small finance banks which are undertaking day-to-day banking activities to to integrate their systems with Department of Telecommunication launched application called Financial Fraud Risk Indicator. So what does it do? It's very simple. Like, if it will go through certain patterns in the online platforms, and it will classify as medium, high, or very risk financial fraud. So at that time, those UPI transactions are brought to the notice of this intelligence system, and accordingly, India's cyber infrastructure, all right, cybercrime infrastructure, namely Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, National Cybercrime Reporting Portal, All right, they come into a platform where they start detecting the fraud, and also try to prevent any type of fraudulent activities. Okay, for example, how it helps the banks. Banks and financial institutions can use this particular detector in real time to prevent any type of suspicious transactions. All right, very important for the cyber hygiene. Okay, for it is a part of general studies paper 3. All right, then comes a very important. There is an popular international convention called Civil Platform for Action. That is, which it works under United Nations. It is a voluntary platform where international agencies can donate to achieve sustainable development goals. Now, under this, the larger issue, under civil platform for action. It says that nearly 1% of the wealthiest people control over 95% of the global the wealthiest 1% own more than 95% of the global population combined. The wealth of the richest 1% has surged, has surged nearly uh, 33.3 trillions since last 10 years, and they end up paying only 0.3% in terms of taxes. So there is sharp inequality, and this you can definitely write in ethics. All right, how does so much of social inequality can corrupt the society, can contribute to a decline in the law and order, increase in the corruption. All right. In fact, sharp inequality is one of the main reason for persistent continuation of corruption in any society. So, in this context, Brazil and Spain have proposed that there has to be effective taxation of high net worth individuals, whichever jurisdiction they are earning. Okay. Now, both these countries have proposed what is called Global Wealth Registry for more transparency and accountability and fairer contribution from the richest people. Yes, very important. Okay, very important for the mains examination, especially it is a validation for general studies, ethics as well as essay. All right. Next comes the Parak system. All right. Parak is basically performance assessment, review, and analysis of knowledge for holistic development. So universities, states which are formulating schemes, what is the total intake in the schools? What is the school infrastructure? What are who are the number of students? What are the number of students who are dropping out from the schools? What is their educational output? Okay, this can be monitored at the state level for effective delivery of schemes of related to education, both with the center as well as the states. All right, very important. Okay, it helps in developing norms, standard guidelines related to student assessment. All right, then ये तो आप skip कर सकते हैं, but overall you can say that the National Statistic Office, okay, it has come out with a report regarding household consumption expenditure. All right, this is a topic where you can especially the human capital. All right, development of human capital, a decline of poverty, all right, malnutrition, etc. So average capacity or a average per capita calorie intake in rural areas is around 2000 2200 calories, while there is only a difference of 50 units, 50 kilocalories between rural and urban areas. Accordingly, the calorie intake gap between the bottom 5% and the top 5% has significantly narrowed down. And because of the changing food habits of the new emerging middle class, okay, the new demand for increased demand for eggs, fish, meat, milk, etc. is taking place. All right, then comes day for yesterday. In the last news also, we saw some of the operations conducted by Narcotic Control Bureau. Narcotic Control Bureau works under Ministry of Home Affairs. All right. Now, uh, now they have conducted an operation where they have dismantled especially the illegal pharmaceutical drug trade. All right, which used a deep dark net, and which were using encrypted digital platforms and cryptocurrencies to smuggle these regulated substances. All right, either they are substandard or they are not passed through the the actual legal system that is required. All right. Again, general studies paper 3 में लिख सकता है. All right. Especially the law enforcement agencies, etc. All right. Then comes standard depositing SDF and MD. Yeah, marginal standing facilities. Now, sir, what is this marginal standing facility? Again, it is from the it's almost like introduced since 2009. All right. So it is not present in NCRT, but nevertheless, in the standard books such as Vivek Singh, Ramesh Singh has ample of information. Now, if banks are running, if banks are running shortage of funds, then they have a mandatory 27% of SLR, right? All right, statutory liquidity ratio. That much amount of fund is available. Now, if banks are running short of funds, now they can dip into the government bonds that they have kept in the form of SLR and place it before the RBI. Okay, RBI, and RBI will give them the money, all right, for a short period of time, but again with the increased cost that is higher than the repo rate. All right, important for the preliminary examination. Mains में कुछ आने वाला नहीं है. All right, SDF is when banks place surplus deposits with the Reserve Bank. All right, for an overnight basis. All right, so if SDF is increased, then there will be decline in the banking growth of credit. All right. Then, sir, Forest Advisory Committee. It is a committee which is mandated to recommend forest clearances. Okay, forest clearances for major industries and infrastructure projects. Okay, around the forest land, such as dam, such as mining, such as the linear infrastructure, such as railways, etc. All right, and Forest Advisory Committee, it is comes under Forest Conservation Act 1980. Again, UPSC prelims के लिए बहुत important है. All right. Again, none of the you know statutory committee's recommendations are obligatory on the government. They are, I mean to say, they are only recommendatory in nature. Then then a very important green climate fund. It is one of the largest surplus funds which are available, okay, which are monitored by the World Bank. Again, important. Okay, that has why the World Bank monitors it. What is the objective? To fulfill the nationally determined climate contributions of each of the countries under the Paris Climate Agreement. All right. So developed countries are mandated to give certain funds toward developing climate resilience among the developing countries. All right. Now, sir, when was it created? It was created in 2010. All right, and come under the Cancun Conference. All right, Cancun Conference of United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Now, you can often quote in the mains examination the Article 9 of Paris Climate Agreement. All right, Paris Climate Agreement important. All right, you can directly quote Article 9 of Paris Climate Agreement, where it asks the developed countries to mandate certain funds towards green energy transition in developing countries. All right, then then comes the Malay Mahadeshwara, hill sanctuary. So you can see here it is located at this place, and it is a tri-junction of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, as well as Kerala. But the larger picture, okay, serves as a very important for UPSC examination. All right, you can see here. All right, some of the important places. Okay, some of the important places. So here, Rajiv Gandhi National Park, Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary. Then you see this, Bandipur National Park. This was the place where the Mysore Maharajas used to go for hunting. Then then Biligiri Ranganathitu Wildlife Sanctuary, and okay, here you see Mukurti National Park. Yes, it is exactly at the Tri Junction. All right, important for, and UPSC has asked questions. Okay, and Satyamangalam Forest. All right, and Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary, etc. Okay, because these are the biodiversity hotspots, and entire this region comes under Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Very important. Chalo. One more peripheral topic useful for The preliminary examination, International Financial Service Authority approved a framework for issuance of transition bonds. Alright, it is one of the subcategories of green debt security. Alright, debt securities issued for raising funds that are to be utilized for sustainable projects. Alright, okay, that is called basically. See, we are undergoing transition towards green energy, right? For this transition, you require funds, and private companies, they are unable to raise the fund. That is why they are misusing the capital market, through by greenwashing. All right. So in order to reduce that, in order to raise the money in a transparent manner, this transition bonds are essential. Okay. Then comes a very 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 important, that is Ghana. All right, Ghana का capital है Accra. All right, सर गाना कहाँ लोकेटेड है, देखिए थोड़ा सा. ओके, गाना लोकेटेड है, इधर होता है गोल्ड कोस्ट, आइवरी कोस्ट. ऑलराइट, important, and these are so in the mains examination you will be asked larger context of the India Africa relations. So some of the essential inputs regarding this one would be Indian technical and economic cooperation. Nearly 50,000 African professionals are being trained annually, and thousands of African students study in India under various scholarship programs. India launched the COVID vaccines, okay, that is vaccine My 3, to nearly 42 African nations, and many African countries, that is around 36 African nations, are part of International Solar Alliance spearheaded by India, and India has funded many solar power projects in Mali, Rwanda, etc. Then, so then nearly $100 billion of $100 billion of trade takes place between India and Africa, and for that matter, South Africa, Nigeria, Egypt, etc., are some of the top investment destination trade partners. All right, and India's large investment is in the pharmaceutical sectors. And see here, India is well known as the doctor of the world, especially in African countries where you know in a less expensive generic drugs are made available. And for infrastructure, India has provided nearly $12 billion, because see, China has already made strong inroads into Africa. So in that context, we need to speed up our investments, all right, speed up our friendship, etc., all right, in this context. But why it was in news? Lastly, because one country, that is Ghana, offered what is called officer of Order of the Star of Ghana. All right, it is a civilian honor, and it is given to our prime minister. All right, so accordingly, some of the awards which have been recently won by honorable prime minister. Okay, companion of the Order of the Logo Who by Papua New Guinea, again important. Then Legion of Merit, okay, by America for elevating India and US ties. Then Global Goalkeeper Award. All right, important, and it is not given by United Nations. I think it is by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. All right, and again, those leaders, okay, who undertake large scale, transition towards green energy. All right, that is Champions of the Earth Award, provided by United Nations. Very important. ऑलराइट, देन ग्रैंड कॉलर ऑफ द स्टेट ऑफ पैलेस्टाइन, ये थोड़ा 6 साल का, थोड़ा पुराना है, 6-7 साल का. सो आप ज़रूरत नहीं है. ऑलराइट, यस. सो बाय विद दिस वी विल बी वाइंडिंग अप दिस पर्टिकुलर सेशन. चलो, थैंक यू सो मच.